Can a simple quarter in your pocket be worth over $1 million? Yes, if it's a rare 1986 P Mint Mark Washington quarter. In today's video, we're diving into the incredible story of how one of these coins shocked the collector's world with a jaw-dropping price tag of $1.6 million. Face screaming in fear money bag. If you've got some spare change lying around, don't move a muscle, because you could be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. The 1986 Washington quarter is part of the U.S. Mint's long-running quarter dollar series, first introduced in 1932 to honor America's first president, George Washington. The obverse features his iconic profile, while the reverse shows the majestic eagle with spread wings. Over 550 million Washington quarters were minted in 1986 at the Philadelphia Mint. That's where the P Mint mark comes from. So how could a coin so common be worth $1.6 million? Let's break it down. It all comes down to errors, condition, and rarity. The $1.6 million quarter wasn't just any coin. It had something extraordinary, something collectors hunt for all their lives. Some 1986 P quarters were struck with extremely rare mint errors, such as where the design is stamped twice by mistake, creating a shadow effect. When the coin is misaligned in the press. Where a piece of the coin is literally missing. And if that rare error coin happens to be in near-perfect condition, graded MS67 or higher, then boom, the value can explode. One such 1986 P Washington quarter made headlines when it sold for an astonishing $1.6 million at a private auction. Why? Because it checked every box. Collectors and investors went crazy for it. These kinds of coins are seen as numismatic unicorns, one-in-a-million treasures that spark bidding wars among the elite. Now you're probably wondering, how do I check if my 1986 P quarter is worth a fortune? Great question. Here's what you do. Look under the date. Does it have a P Mint mark? Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling on the letters or date. Check if the design is off-center or has odd edges. Inspect the coin's surface. Any scratches or wear? If it looks pristine and unusual, send it to PCGS or NGC for grading. Even if it's not worth $1.6 million, some rare error quarters from 1986 still sell for hundreds to thousands of dollars. Here are some real auction prices of rare 1986 P quarters. So imagine, if a regular error coin is selling for thousands, the $1.6 million version is like hitting the coin lottery. Before you toss your pocket change in a jar, stop and check. That little quarter could be your ticket to 6 or 7 figures. Coins like the 1986 P Washington quarter prove that treasures are still out there, hidden in wallets, jars, and old drawers. Will you be the next to strike it rich? If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss another rare coin update. Drop a comment below if you have a 1986 quarter. We'd love to hear your story. 1987 D Washington quarter dollar, the kind you might have in your pocket right now, could be worth $1.7 million. Eyes money bag. Yes, you heard that right. One small coin, minted in 1987 at the Denver Mint, recently shocked the coin collecting world with its jaw-dropping value. So, what makes this quarter so special? And how can you tell if you're holding onto a hidden treasure? Stay with me, because in this video, we're diving deep into the rare 1987 D Washington quarter that's turning heads, and turning everyday people into millionaires. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932, designed to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. It became so iconic that the U.S. Mint continued the design for decades. The 1987 D quarter was struck at the Denver Mint. You can tell by the small D Mint mark just next to Washington's ponytail. In total, over 655 million of these coins were produced. Sounds like a lot, right? So why is one of them worth $1.7 million? Let's find out. This isn't just any 1987 D quarter. The $1.7 million version has something extraordinary, a minting error so rare, it turned a common coin into a priceless collector's gem. Experts believe this particular coin was struck on a silver planchet, That's the blank piece of metal coins are made from. But by 1987, the US Mint had stopped using silver for quarters for over 2 decades. Somehow, a silver blank, likely left over from a previous coin batch or struck in error, got fed into the press and stamped with the 1987 D-quarter design. That makes it incredibly rare. In fact, only one confirmed specimen of this type has ever been found. And that's what drove the value sky high. Besides being struck on the wrong metal, there are other rare errors that can increase the value of a 1987 D-quarter, such as where the image or lettering appears doubled when the design is not aligned properly, when part of the coin is missing due to a miscut when the coin is struck without a collar, causing it to spread wider. If your coin has any of these, especially in uncirculated condition, you could be holding something worth thousands, or more. Now here's the part everyone's waiting for. How do you know if your 1987 D-quarter is the $1 million one? Look at the edge. A normal quarter will have a copper-colored core. But if yours is all silver-colored, it could be struck on a silver planchet. Use a magnet. Quarters aren't magnetic. If yours is, it might be a counterfeit. Weigh the coin. A regular 1987 D-quarter weighs 5.67 grams. But the rare silver version will weigh around 6.25 grams. A precise digital scale can help you check. Inspect with a magnifier. Look for doubling, missing elements, or off-center features. If any of this sounds like your coin, don't sell it to just anyone. Get it evaluated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. That's how this $1.7 million coin was authenticated. The most valuable 1987 D-quarter made headlines when it was sold at an exclusive auction for $1.70 million. The buyer? A private collector obsessed with rare mint errors. The coin had been graded as MS67, that's a near-perfect condition, and had all the characteristics of a genuine silver-struck quarter from the Denver Mint. It became one of the highest-valued modern quarters ever sold, and sparked a new wave of people checking their change drawers. 1. Grab a magnifying glass. 2. Check for that small D mint mark next to Washington's ponytail. 3. Look at the edge for that silver shine. 4. Weigh it. If it's heavier than 5.67 grams, that's a major clue. 5. Take clear, high-resolution photos of the coin. 6. Contact a coin grading company or a trusted local dealer. Rush to sell it at a pawn shop. You might be sitting on a gold mine. Before you spend another quarter on a soda, take a second look, because that 25 cents could actually be worth $1.70 million. If you found this video helpful or exciting, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin finds, and share this video with friends or family who love a good treasure hunt. Drop a comment below if you think you have a rare coin, and who knows? Maybe we'll feature your story in the next video. 1990p mint mark Washington $quarter coin valued at $1.7 million. This script is 1990p mint mark Washington $quarter coin, and if you've got one hiding in your collection or change jar, you might just be holding on to a fortune. So grab your magnifying glass, and let's uncover the secrets behind this rare and incredibly valuable coin. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter has been a U.S. staple since 1932, honoring the first president of the United States, George Washington. In 1990, millions of quarters were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, marked with the tiny letter P just to the right of Washington's ponytail. So, what makes this common coin so incredibly uncommon? Well, in most cases, the 1990p quarter is only worth face value, 25 cents. But rare errors, unique varieties, and historical significance have pushed a few of these coins to astronomical values, including one recently appraised at a staggering $1.7 million. Okay, so what could possibly make a 1990p quarter worth more than a mansion? White heavy checkmark minting errors. The $1.7 million version of the 1990p quarter is believed to have a double die obverse, which means the front of the coin, the side with George Washington's face, was struck twice by mistake. This causes noticeable doubling on the lettering like Liberty and In God We Trust. White heavy checkmark off-center strike. Some ultra-rare quarters were struck off-center, meaning the image is visibly misaligned. When combined with a double die or other features, the value skyrockets. white heavy check mark, full strike, and luster. The rarest coins also have what's called a full strike, with crisp details and a brilliant shine. These coins are usually found in mint state condition, often graded MS67 or higher by professionals. Add these together, and boom, collision, you've got yourself a coin collectors will fight over. Let's talk about where the money comes in. A recent high-profile auction, a pristine 1990p Washington quarter featuring both a double die and mint condition grading, sold for a mind-blowing $1.7 million. Exploding head, collectors and investors saw the historical value, the scarcity, and the condition, and the bidding war went crazy. It's important to know, these kinds of coins are 1 in a million, but they do exist, and more are still out there, waiting to be discovered. So how do you know if you've got one? Let's dive in. Look for the P mint mark. It should be just next to Washington's ponytail. No P? Then it's from a different mint. Check for doubling. Use a magnifying glass or even your phone's camera zoom to inspect the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If you see shadowed or doubled letters, that's a huge sign. Look at the edges. A well-struck coin will have strong ridges and no signs of wear. The rarer coins look almost brand new. Check the strike alignment. Is the image perfectly centered? Or a little off? A slight misalignment could add thousands to its value. If you see even one of these signs, you could be sitting on a gold mine. Firecracker. Found a promising 1990p quarter? Here's what to do next. White heavy check mark, don't clean it. Seriously, don't try to shine it. That can damage the coin and lower the value. White heavy check mark, handle with care. Use gloves or hold the edges to avoid leaving fingerprints. White heavy check mark, get it professionally graded. Reach out to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll evaluate your coin and give it an official grade, which is key for serious buyers. White heavy check mark, talk to an expert or auction house. They'll help you appraise your coin and may even help you sell it to the right collector. And remember, just one good find could literally change your life. So there you have it, folks. The 1990p Washington quarter that could be worth $1.7 million. Dollar banknote gemstone. It just goes to show, you never know what treasures are hiding in your pocket or change. Be sure to like this video if you learned something new, and don't forget to subscribe for more rare coin discoveries that could make you the next millionaire. Got an interesting coin story? Drop it in the comments. We love hearing from fellow collectors. 1990D Washington quarter, the kind you might find in your change jar, could be worth up to $1.9 million today. In this video, we're diving into everything you need to know about this incredible coin, why it's so valuable, what makes it special, how to spot one, and how you can turn a regular coin into a fortune. So stick around, because you might be just one coin away from becoming a millionaire. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington. But the 1990D quarter? That's no ordinary coin. In 1990, quarters were struck at 3 major U.S. mints: Philadelphia, P, San Francisco, S, and Denver, D. The Denver Mint is known for producing high quantities of coins, but a small number of 1990D quarters were accidentally struck with rare errors and unique features that set them apart. Only a few of these coins made it into circulation before the error was caught, making them some of the rarest quarters ever discovered. And today, one of these extremely rare error coins has been valued at up to $1.9 million by top collectors and coin auction houses. You're probably wondering, what makes a coin that was minted in the millions suddenly worth close to $2 million? Some 1990D quarters were struck with an off-center error, or with a double die obverse, meaning parts of the design appear doubled, especially on the date or the word Liberty. These errors are extremely rare and happen during a specific, short period. Coins graded MS68 or higher, meaning mint state, nearly perfect with no visible flaws even under magnification, are incredibly rare for this year. One such pristine 1990D quarter sold for a whopping $1.9 million due to its condition and the error combination. There's a high demand among collectors for rare quarters, especially ones with errors and a strong backstory. Combine scarcity, condition, and demand, and you've got $1 million coin. Now here's the fun part. Let's talk about what you should be looking for. First, flip the coin and check for the D mint mark, located to the right of Washington's ponytail. This tells you it was struck in Denver. If it looks nearly flawless, shiny, and untouched, it could be high grade. These are the coins that command the biggest bucks, and remember, it's always worth using a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect those tiny details. Think you found a treasure? Here's what to do next. Cleaning a coin can drastically lower its value. Leave it as is. Contact a professional grading service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. They'll authenticate your coin, assign it a grade, and seal it in a protective holder, which is crucial for top dollar sales. Reach out to rare coin dealers or auction houses. Some of the best places to sell million-dollar coins include heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers, or even specialty online platforms. Let the professionals handle the bidding war. You might be surprised just how high the price goes. If you're feeling lucky, here are a few bonus tips. Many people toss quarters into jars without a second glance. You could already be holding a fortune, especially older relatives who saved coins from the 90s. Offer to sort through their change. You'd be amazed how many rare coins slip through the cracks and end up in bargain bins. Both local clubs and online communities can help you learn, trade, and even find hidden gems. Coin collecting is not just a hobby, it could be your golden ticket. So, next time you get a quarter in your change, check that date. If it's a 1990 with the right features, you could be sitting on a coin worth $1.90 million. Hit that like button if you found this video helpful, subscribe for more rare coin content, and drop a comment if you've ever found an unusual coin in your collection. Who knows, your lucky day might be just one coin away. 2003 quarters like yesterday, but today, you're going to look at them very differently. In 2003, as part of the iconic 50-state quarters program, the U.S. Mint released several special designs. These included Illinois, Alabama, Maine, Missouri, and Arkansas. Each had its own artwork on the reverse, but the obverse still featured George Washington, just as it has since 1932. Round pushpin. The P Mint mark stands for the Philadelphia Mint, one of the largest coin-producing facilities in the world. That year alone, Philadelphia struck hundreds of millions of quarters. So how did one 2003 P quarter end up being worth $1.8 million? Minting error and extreme rarity. Let's break it down. The 2003 P quarter that sold for $1.8 million isn't your average pocket change. It had a double striking error, but not just any error. This coin was struck twice off-center, causing George Washington's profile to overlap in a distorted, almost ghostly manner. But what made it truly legendary was that this error happened on a 2003 Illinois state quarter and was struck on a planchet intended for a Sacagawea dollar, a completely different coin. This kind of minting mistake is called a mule error, and it is incredibly rare. Only one known example of this exact type has ever been found. That's why collectors went absolutely wild for it. It later sold at a private auction for a staggering $1.8 million, making it one of the most expensive quarters in American history. Now you're probably wondering, could I have one of these? Let's talk about what to look for. Here's a checklist to identify a valuable 2003 P quarter. Look for the P under the date on the front. Check for double strikes, off-center images, or blended designs. If it looks a little too gold or thicker than normal, it might have been struck on the wrong metal. Use a coin scale. A standard quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. If it's heavier or lighter, that's a clue. If the edge looks unusual, like smooth instead of reeded, you might have a rare one. If you spot one of these signs, do not spend it. Instead, put it in a protective case and have it professionally graded. To unlock the true value of your coin, it must be authenticated and graded by a trusted company like PCGS or NGC. Grading ranges from poor, P1, to perfect mint state, MS70. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Once authenticated, you can list it in auctions, consult with rare coin dealers, or even sell it privately to high-end collectors. The $1.8 million sale was through a private collector who specialized in U.S. mint errors. So, check your old jars, your coin albums, and especially those state quarters from 2003. You never know. That one coin you thought was ordinary could secretly be worth a fortune. And for those of you over 50 who've been saving coins for decades, this is your sign to pull them out and take a closer look. That's the fascinating story of the 2003 P. Washington quarter worth $1.8 million. Remember, coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a hidden path to wealth, history, and surprise. 2016 D. Washington quarter that sold for an eye-watering $1.5 million. Now let's start with the basics. The 2016 D. Washington quarter is part of the America the Beautiful series, specifically, the North Dakota Theodore Roosevelt National Park design. Over 450 million of these quarters were minted in Denver that year. So how could just one be worth $1.5 million? The answer is simple, but extremely rare. It comes down to errors, condition, and one-of-a-kind characteristics. The $1.5 million coin isn't just your everyday quarter. It's what collectors call a perfect storm coin. So what makes this 2016 D quarter so valuable? Let's break it down. This coin features a double die obverse, meaning the front of the coin, with Washington's face, has been struck twice by the die. You'll see subtle but obvious doubling in the word liberty and in the motto "In God We Trust." These types of errors are incredibly valuable, especially when they're this crisp and dramatic. This particular coin was graded MS68 Plus by PCGS, which is basically like winning the lottery for coin condition. That level of detail and shine is extremely rare. The icing on the cake? This coin has outstanding luster, no contact marks, and a near-perfect strike, and that's exactly what high-end collectors are willing to pay millions for. Traditionally, people think old coins are valuable, but in recent years, modern coins with rare errors or perfect conditions have been breaking auction records. Coins from the 2000s and 2010s are finally getting their moment. Why? Because they're in circulation now, and most people spend them, not realizing they're rare. Now you're probably wondering, do I have one of these? Well, here's what to check on your 2016 D quarter. Even if you don't have the $1 million coin, a 2016 D quarter with a minor error can still fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So where did this $1.5 million quarter come from? A lucky collector found the coin in a bank roll, noticed the doubling, and had it professionally graded. It later appeared in a major coin auction where two millionaire collectors battled it out, and the final hammer price was a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Talk about turning 25 cents into a fortune! Alright, so how do you find out if your coin is valuable? And if you think you've got something special? Get it graded by a professional. That little plastic slab can turn your coin into serious money. Here's the deal. Rare coins aren't just for museums or collectors with deep pockets. They're out there right now, in your change jar, under your car seat, or in that drawer you haven't cleaned out in years. I want you to check your 2016 quarters today. Look for that D mint mark, and keep your eyes peeled for doubling or unusual features. If you find one, drop a comment and tell us about it. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and join our community of coin hunters. We post new videos every week breaking down the rarest pennies, nickels, quarters, and more.